and welcome to episode 56 of Aico TV. My name's Phoebe and I'm one of the marketing executives here at Aico. In today's episode, our regional specification manager Martin is going to be speaking to residential landlord David Melen on how he's been utilising HomeLINK technology across his properties. First up though, we've got Jane and Laura who are going to be giving us an update on sustainability.
Hi, I'm Jane.
Hi, and I'm Laura. We are the community liaisons at Aico.
So part of our CSR programme is to support education. Our aim is to try and inspire young people to think about their next steps when entering the world of work. So we've been really busy this month. We've attended 2 assembly talks, talking to students about expectations in the workplace and also employability skills. We've recently had the Priory School from Shrewsbury. Their business studies students have come over to us and we've delivered an operational management workshop. So a new project for us and for school, so we're really excited about that, and the students have really enjoyed it.
Coming up, we've got a virtual apprentice talk for schools. We've got new volunteering opportunities. One is with our ongoing charity Little Stars we support, and the other one is Lower Heath Primary School, where we're going to clear out the outside space.
Thank you so much to Jane and Laura, our community liaisons there, talking about the sustainability and CSR events that have been going on. Up next, we've got one of our regional specification managers, Martin, who is joined by David Melen, who is a private residential landlord who has been utilising our connected home solution in some of his properties.
Good afternoon, I'm Martin, Regional Specification Manager for Greater Manchester. I'm here with David. David coming here just to have some interview about our HomeLINK Connected Solution. Good afternoon, David.
Afternoon.
Yeah. Who you are, what you're doing, where you're coming from. Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is David Melen. I'm a residential landlord from Manchester. I generally let out 2-bedroom terraced homes, which are kind of like quite old, built all in the 1900s. That comes with a variety of different kind of challenges. I generally rent out to professionals and families, and I self-manage them all.
So David, what motivated you to implement our HomeLINK solution to your rental properties?
A couple of factors really. First thing is I wanted an accurate diagnosis of condensation. I've always found condensation problems are quite complex. There's a number of factors at play. For instance, there's the kind of moisture creation in the property, there's the ventilation of the property, there's the internal temperature within the property and the external temperature of the outside of the property, and then there's also the insulation performance. And what I've found in my experience is that each condensation problem has a unique mix of those factors. So it's sometimes very challenging to kind of get an accurate diagnosis. And previously I've got surveyors round and they come round, they do a survey of their property, but they're only there for say an hour. And perhaps on a particular day when conditions weren't conducive to condensation or whatever, so and it's just merely an expert opinion. I wanted something that had a lot of data, and in the past I've tried various solutions, but when I came to the Aico solution, there was suddenly this ability to kind of gather a lot of data and over a number of days, because it doesn't give you the results straight away. It goes off to, I don't know where, a data center somewhere, and it comes back with this accurate diagnosis. And that was my primary concern. The second thing was that I wanted to engage the tenant, right? Certain elements of condensation, some of those factors are very much under the control of the tenant. So what I wanted to be able to do was get the tenant included in part of the solution. And with the app that's provided, they get a warning when the problem arises, and then they get a list of recommendations that they can do to reduce the problem, which for me, it's absolutely fabulous as a landlord, but I also think it's really helpful towards the tenant. So it's a solution, and I've tried different solutions in the past, but this is a solution that really is about a win-win for both the tenant and the landlord.
Have you observed any benefits so far since implementing our home connected solution, our HomeLINK solution?
Yeah, there is definitely a kind of a greater accuracy in what is happening in the properties, and I've come back to this point about an accurate diagnosis. I was always struggling before, but I really do feel I'm kind of hitting an accurate diagnosis now, and for the first time I'm getting the tenants involved as well. So I'm able to move things forward a lot quicker rather than, with the accurate diagnosis, the action is targeted straight away rather than, a hit and miss approach.
How is your relationship now with your tenants after implementing our increased relationship? It's always a challenge because before I started using the system, perhaps the perception from the tenant was it's just the landlord blaming me for this problem. Whereas now it's the tenant can see you taking action, and the recommendations that are coming to them aren't coming from the landlord necessarily, they're coming from the app, which is really independent. It's not opinion based. So I would say that the relationship with the tenant has actually improved now. Yeah, you've got a problem, and nobody wants a problem, but you seem to be doing something. Okay. Have you observed any challenges so far with our system, or have you seen any problematic areas where you can actually focus on improvements?
Right, what I would say to any landlord who's going to implement this solution is that there is a learning curve. This is part of the Internet of Things. Like we have fridges now that can have TV screens in, and well, you also have your cable. Like, when you get the new cable in the house, you get the new remote control. You've got to learn how to use it, basically. We live in the digital world, and every time a new system comes into your life, you've got to learn how to use it. So it's important that there is, you take time to kind of learn about the system. But I would say that Aico support are very, very helpful. So that's always good. A digital system is only good as the support that is there. And the benefit with kind of spending that time to kind of learn about the system is that condensation problems can take up a huge amount of kind of management time, and by kind of learning how to use the system effectively, you can really kind of cut out all that loss management time.
So what recommendations would you give to any other tenants? Have you got anything specific? Would you advise them to do?
Well, the tenants or the landlords?
Landlords, other landlords, not
right.
landlords.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So I would suggest to landlords is that they, as soon as they get a complaint about condensation, that they install the system as quickly as possible. Be seen to be acting quickly. So my typical installation that I put in is that I will put in the Aico gateway, and then I'll put an environmental sensor in the bathroom and an environmental sensor in the kitchen. The main cause is the damp of moisture creation in the property, and then I will put them in the rooms that are experiencing the problem. I think that's it. It's to react quickly to it. And then I've got a personal recommendation, which is to put it in your own house. Because then you're very much aware of the system, and you've also got the app there, and you can see it from the perspective of the tenant.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. That's great. Thank you, David, for coming. It was really nice to spend some time with you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Aico TV. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and you can follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.